back once again. In this video, I will discuss rules of divisibility, and this will be the last video in this playlist. Now, I want to look into rules of divisibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, then 100. So here you can see that 7 is missing here, okay, because there is no simple rule of divisibility for 7, okay, so that's why 7 is omitted, okay. So we don't have a simple rule of divisibility for it, okay. So we'll take them one after the other. Rule of divisibility of 1: all numbers are divisible by 1. All numbers are divisible by 1. So 3 into 1, okay, that will be 3, okay. So if you say 5 by 1, you still get 5. If you say 20 by 1, you still get 20. So all numbers are divisible by 1. So that is pretty simple and cool. So what about 2? The next one is rule of divisibility of 2, okay. So a number is said to be divisible by 2 if the number ends with either 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 8. Okay, so if the number ends with any of the following, then that number is divisible by 2. Take for instance, you have 20 is divisible by 2 because of the last digit here. You have 42 is divisible by 2 because of the last digit here. You have 84 is divisible by 2 because of the last digit here. You have 96. You have 96 is divisible by 2 because of the last digit here. And if you have 18 is divisible by 2 due to the last digit here. So any number that ends with either 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 is an even number, okay, and it is divisible by 2. So all numbers that are divisible by 2 are also called even numbers. So that implies that if a number is divisible by 2, and that means that number is an even number. And you can only know if a number is divisible by 2 if the number ends with any of the following number listed here, okay. So that is it. So let's go to rule of divisibility of 3. Okay, a number is said to be divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. So let's look into 32. Is 32 divisible by 3? Let's check. So 3 add 2, that is what? That is 5. Is 5 divisible by 3? No. Since 5 is not divisible by 3, that means 32 is not divisible by 3. Okay, let's take 39 for instance. Or let's take 33 now. Is 33 divisible by 3? Let's check. So 3 add 3, that will be 6. Then that's the sum of these two digits, okay. So is 6 divisible by 3? Yes. So that means 33 is divisible by 3. Let's look into another one. You have 54. If you want to check if 54 is divisible by 3, so let's add the digits. Then 5 add 4 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes. That means 54 is divisible by 3. Let's look into another one. That is 65. Okay. So 6 add 5, that is 11. Okay. Is 11 divisible by 3? No. That means 65 is not divisible by 3. Another way you could do this, you have 65. Okay. You want to check if it is divisible by 3. Add 6 to 5, that will be 11. Since you have two digits here, you can continue the addition. You can say 1 add 1, that is 2. Is 2 divisible by 3? No. So that means 65 is not divisible by 3. So you can go beyond this 11. That is the fact I want to establish. So let's look into another one. Let's say we have 2, 1. Then let's say we have 8 now. So let's see if it is divisible by 3. So 2 add 1, 3. 3 add 8, that is 11. So, and then 11, 1 add 1 again, you have 2. Just like what you have here. Since 2 is not divisible by 3, then 218 is not divisible by 3. So let's look into another one. That will be 4, 9, and 5. 495. Is 495 divisible by 3? Let's check. 4 add 9, that is 13. 13 add 5, that is 18. We have 2 digits here, so you can either continue or stop here. So if you know that, okay, is 18 divisible by 3? Yes. Then 495 is divisible by 3. But you can still continue. You say 1 add 8, that will be what? 9. So it is easy for you to get that 9 is divisible by 3. So since 9 is divisible by 3, then that means 495 is divisible by 3. So let's look into another one. We have 1089. That is 1089. So is it divisible by 3? Let's check. 1 add nothing is still 1. 1 add 8 is 9. 9 add 9 is what? 18. So we have 18 here. Is 18 divisible by 3? Yes. That means 1089 is divisible by 3. And you can still continue by saying, if you're not sure whether 18 is divisible by 3, you can still add 1 to 8, and that will give you 9. And you are sure that 9 is divisible by 3. That means 1089 is divisible by 3. So let's go to rule of divisibility of 4. A number is said will be divisible by 4 if the last 2 digits, okay, if the last 2 digits, okay, are divisible by 4. Okay, let's look into this now. Let's say you have 342. Okay, so if you want to know if this is divisible by 4, so you have to check the last 2 digits. The last 2 digits is not divisible by 4 because there will be remainder of 2. That means 342 is not divisible by 2. So let's say we have 240 for instance now. So we have the last 2 digits are 4 and 0, which is 40. So if you look at 40 here, is it divisible by is 40 divisible by 4? Yes. Okay, and there's no remainder. That means 240 is divisible by 4. And you can divide it 1 by 1. 4 is divisible by 4 once, and 4 is divisible by 0 times. So you can also do it like that. So let's check another one. You have 248. So let's check if the last 2 digits, okay, are divisible by 4. So the last 2 digits here make up 48, right? So let's see, is 48 divisible by 4? Yes, because 4 in 4, 1, 4 in 8, 2. Since the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, that means 248 is divisible by 4. Okay, so that is rule of divisibility of 4. Let's go to 5. Okay, a number is divisible by 5 if the number either ends with 0 or 5. So look at this. 30 now is divisible by 5. Why? Because it ends with 0. Then look at 45. Is it divisible by 5? Yes, because it ends with 5. Then look at 53. Is it divisible by 5? No, because it does not end with either 0 or 5. Okay, so these are the criteria to tell you that a number is divisible by 5 if the number ends with either 0 or 5. So let's go to the next one. Rule of divisibility of 6. A number is said to be divisible by 6 if that number is divisible by both 2 and 3. If the number is both divisible by what? 2 and 3. So earlier in this lesson, I showed you how to get the rules of divisibility of 2 and 3, and that's what we need to check. Okay, so if a number is divisible by 2 and is not divisible by 3, then it is not divisible by 6. If a number is divisible by 3 and is not divisible by 2, it is not divisible by 6. So it must be divisible by both 2 and 3. So let's look into one number here. Look at 32, for instance. Is 32 divisible by 6? So we need to check if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. If yes, then it is divisible by 6. Otherwise, no. Now, of course, it is divisible by 2. Why? Because the last digit is 2. So that means it is divisible by 2. The first criterion is met. Now let's check, is it divisible by 3? So the sum of the digits must be divisible by 3. 3 plus 2, 5. Unfortunately, 5 is not divisible by 3. So that means 32 is not divisible by 3. So the second criterion failed. So that means 32 is not divisible by what? By 6. So cancel that. Let's check another one. We have 36. So is 36 divisible by 6? We need to check if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. So of course it's divisible by 2 because the last it ends with 6. That means the first criterion is met. Then is it divisible by 3? So to check that, we have to add the digits, sum of the digits, and this is 9. And we know that 9 is divisible by 3. That means 36 is also divisible by 3. So the second criterion is met. So since the two criteria are met, that means 36 is divisible by 6. That is how to get that. So let's look into the next one. That is rule of divisibility of 8. A number is said to be divisible by 8 if the last 3 digits are divisible by 8. Let's look into this. 4,872. So let's check now. So if you want to know if this number is divisible by 3, so the last 3 digits must be divisible by 8. Okay, if you have 872 now, let's see, 8 goes in 8. Let's see, 8 goes in 8 once. So 8 goes in 7. Okay, you say 0 times, right? Then let's take these two numbers, 72. 8 goes in 72 9 times. Okay, so that is 900 and that is 109. So since these last 3 digits are divisible by 8, okay, that means the old number 4,872 is divisible by 8. So let's look into another one. Let's say you have 2,401. Okay, 2,401. So we want to check if it is divisible by 8. Okay, so you have to check the last 3 digits. Okay, if they are divisible by 8. You have 401 divided by what? Divided by 8 here. So 8 goes in 4. It's not possible. So you pick 40. 8 goes in 40. You have 8. No remainder. 8 goes in 1. 0 times. It's not possible. Then you add 0 here, making 10. 8 goes in. We have a remainder 1. Okay. So this will not be enough. Okay. So you have to check if 401 is divisible by 8. Okay, so 8 goes in 4 is impossible. We pick 40. 8 goes in 40. That will be 5 times, as 5 times 8 gives 40. Okay, so 8 goes in 1, 0 times, then remainder 1. Okay, so that means it is impossible, okay, for us to get. So it is impossible. Okay, so 401 is not divisible by 8. So since 401 is not divisible by 8, then that means 2000. Since 801, So let's look into another example. We want to check if 2401 is divisible by 8. So what we need to check is that is 401 divisible by 8. Okay, so you have 401 divided by 8. So 8 goes in 4 is not possible. Then you pick 40. 8 goes in 40, that will be 5. Then 8 goes in 1 and 0 times, then remainder 1. Okay, so that means 401 is not divisible by 8. Since the last 3 digits are not divisible by 8, then 2401, so everything is not divisible by 8. So that is how to get rule of divisibility of 8. So next, let's go to rule of divisibility of 9. Okay, so rule of divisibility of 9 is similar to rule of divisibility of 3. Okay, so if a number is said to be divisible by 9 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. Okay, just like the way you have for 3. Okay, so look at 81 here. So what's the sum of the digits? 8 add 1, that is 9. Is 9 divisible by 9? Yes, that means 81 is divisible by 9. So if you have 207, okay, you want to check if this is divisible by 9. So you have to add all the digits together. 2 add 0 is 2. 2 add 7, that is 9. Okay, so this will give you 9 here. Is 9 divisible by 9? Yes, that means 207 is divisible by 9. Let's say you have 4872. You want to check if it is divisible by 9. It's pretty simple. Let's add the digits together. 4 add 8, that is 12. 12 add 7, that is what? 19. 19 add 2, that is 21. Okay, is 21 divisible by 9? Okay, no. Okay, because there is a remainder. So that means 4872 is not divisible by 9. So this is how you apply rule of divisibility of 9. Let's go to the next one, that is rule of divisibility of 10. A number is divisible by 10 if the number ends with 0. Okay, unlike rule of divisibility of 5. A number is divisible by 5 if it ends with either 0 or 5. But for rule of divisibility of 10, the number must be divisible by only 10. So look at this. Is divisible by 10? Yes, because it ends with 0. How about 3872? Is it divisible by 10? No, because it does not end with 0. How about 9070? Is it divisible by 10? Yes, because it ends with 0. So let's go to the last one, which is rule of divisibility of 100. Okay, so a number is divisible by 100 if the number ends with what? 0, 0. So for instance now, 500 is divisible by 100. Why? Because it ends with 0, 0. Okay, what about 8902? Is it divisible by 100? No, because it does not end with 0, 0. So this will be the end of this lesson. So if you are seeing this channel for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share the links with your friends. And if you have already subscribed, please, you can easily share my videos with your friends. Thank you.